Mark Allen. Esprit. Lotus Esprit. The car from an actual James Bond movie. This is going to be the most awesome day featuring the most awesome James Bond collector ever. You're going to get to know him on my top secret mission as Good Day continues.
You ever got the feeling somebody doesn't like you?
Secret agent Marcus Allen is live in El Dorado Hills, checking out one very impressive James Bond collection, sir.
You guys, I just saw the pictures yesterday of what this guy has amassed in a lifetime, and believe me, you think I geek out about Star Wars? Wait till you see what I geek out about when it comes to James Bond. And he's got an actual car, a Lotus Esprit from the film. Like I said, it's a top secret location. Some of his stuff is quite valuable, so he doesn't want you to know where it is. So while I transition to the home, I want to show you my very first James Bond encounter. That would be me on the Pinewood Studios set. The exact location where Obi-Wan Kenobi got whacked is where they shot The World Is Not Enough. I talked to Pierce Brosnan about how they stay so young as James Bond. Take a look.
What do you think is the character's secret to always looking good? Because, you know, Bond can, pretty much help overturn a country, knock off a couple of guys, disarm a bomb, and then walk into a cocktail party looking great. I walked across the soundstage and I look like I've been digging ditches all day. What's his secret?
You're looking pretty good, man. You're looking pretty good. Good makeup and hair.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it?
You gotta admit, the Bond guys, they look good a long time in their career. Roger Moore was like 105 when he quit being Bond. They all look great well into their later years. And now we're at this guy's house. I'm gonna knock on the door.
All right, okay.
And by the way, fancy doesn't even begin to describe this house. It's quite amazing.
He's gonna think you're supposed to be on the other
Fancy,
side.
by the way, so top secret is this location, the crew couldn't even find. I'm just gonna come in. You can't tell, but he just did the actual James Bond entrance. He actually, you just walked in.
And then stopped.
How are you?
You know, I'm not a stranger to having a gun pointed at me when I try to get into a house. Okay, so Alan, Mark Allen.
Not real.
Now you have to introduce yourself a la James Bond.
It's Brosamble, Uwe Brosamble.
And by the way, let's step over here. And yes, that's not a real gun. That's a prop from the movie. Check out this.
Nice poster.
All right. A life-size theater standee about 30 feet long featuring Daniel Craig. Who is your favorite James Bond, by the way?
It's probably Roger Moore. I grew up with Roger Moore in the when I saw the first few movies in the 70s, and it's probably my favorite.
Not only has he met Roger Moore, he's met just about anybody ever connected to James Bond. And also, he's going to share with you, there's a James Bond legend that lives right here in our area. That and more coming up. Will you hold my mic while I grab your martini?
What?
Oh, good. Oh, nuts. Yeah, it's a prop, but it's from the film. That and more coming up. Back to you guys.
Neat.
That'll work.
Thanks,
buddy.
Mark. That's fantastic.
Ding, 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 da, da, da. Good day, Sacramento. Marcus Allen hangs out with the most awesome James Bond collector ever and his favorite Bond girl. Good day continues.
But James, I need you.
So does England.
He has just left.
He's one of the biggest James Bond fans in the world, and he even has the car to prove it.
We had to see this collection for ourselves. Our very own secret agent Marcus Allen live in El Dorado Hills. Good morning.
And I'm never leaving this house. Coming up next hour, I'm going to go ahead and tease next hour.
Okay.
Coming up next hour, a connection between Jaws and the James Bond movies that you've probably never heard, and he's got proof, which is kind of awesome. It is Uwe. Hello, sir.
Hello there.
And his lovely James Bond wife. Karen, how are you?
Good. How are you?
All right, so how did the two of you meet?
We met in Germany.
Was she trying to kill you?
Almost.
Hey, truth be told, they met skinny dipping. Has nothing to do with James Bond, but I just love it. But you put up with his love of James Bond collecting.
Yes, I do, for the last 30 years. So I'm his Miss Moneypenny, the trusted assistant.
Lovely. You know, James Bond almost killed me because you guys made me do a commercial for the time that I interviewed Daniel Craig, and we actually shot a commercial for it. Do you guys have that locked and loaded? Do you want to see it right now?
Sure.
Yeah. Just let me know if you do. If you got it, we can do that.
Do we?
All right.
Al,
roll the tape. Okay, we're not going to do that right now. In the meantime, I'm going to hand you the microphone. I want you to give me a tour of stuff that means the world to you. In fact, because of James Bond, they've literally been around the world to find where the movie was shot, and I mean precise. Give us a look.
Okay, one of our hobbies is actually traveling around the world and seeing all the locations where the James Bond movies are made. My wife and I, we went through Europe, through Asia, so through the United States here. And one of the shots here we have is what we did in Istanbul. And we are trying to copy basically exactly the same shots, what you see in the movie.
Right there.
Exactly. So over the years I got better in the photography, obviously, and that's where the shots are.
And that's just one location. I want to follow you. Lead us to the car, my friend. The car. And by the way, he not only has the car, he met the Bond girl that tried to kill Bond in that car. Right there. So let's go see the car. Let's go take a look. Here we go. It's a Lotus Esprit. And by the way, it's not the actual Lotus Esprit, but he has spent a fortune making it look exactly like the Lotus Esprit. Coming up next hour, that connection to Jaws that I talked about, and we're taking the Lotus Esprit for a little tour. We might have to put the guns away.
Nice. Nice. That's vintage. That's real, people. Nice job.
Swim?
We're gonna need a bigger boat. Good day, Sacramento, Marcus Allen in El Dorado Hills. What does the ship from Jaws, and for that matter, the movie Jaws, have to do with James Bond? Well, this guy, the world's greatest James Bond collector, knows. That answer is Good Day continues. Show me the way to go home. Boom, boom.
It's time we said goodbye to an uninvited guest.
Welcome back. It is Good Day Sacramento, and we're live in El Dorado Hills with probably the greatest James Bond collection I've ever seen. Yet again, I said I wasn't going to cry. I'm tearing up just a little bit. You should see the parties these guys throw. Karen, his wife, and Boyd throw the most amazing James Bond parties. And why wouldn't they have an amazing James Bond themed party? If you would, spin around here, child, face the light. Come towards the light, Carrie Ann. So, Uwe, why the love of James Bond?
Oh, it started when I was young. I was about 11 years old, and I saw my first James Bond movie that was Live and Let Die. And I went through the whole Roger Moore area in the 70s and 80s. And that was when James Bond kind of got a twist away from Sean Connery into Roger Moore, who was going more into the kind of funny, entertaining mode of the James Bond movies.
Like he almost started transforming into more of an Austin Powers type character.
Exactly, right. And it it was almost getting, if you watch an old movie nowadays, it's almost too fake, too dorky. But back then, growing up, it was a movie that was basically always exciting. New locations, cars, Bond girls, you know. For a young man, it was just the world was out there, you know. It was very exciting.
Exactly, no kidding. And he married a lovely Bond girl as well. All right, this is awesome. Every plank, every nuance of this that you see was hand-built by this guy. And yes, that's the Orca, the shark fishing vessel from Steven Spielberg's Jaws. What is its connection to James Bond?
Well, there's a big connection to Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg was supposed to film actually Live and Let Die and didn't get the job back then because he was too young.
It was a movie made in 72.
72, right? Came out in 73. And actually in the Jaws movie, you see how he opened up the shark, the dead shark, and they get a whole bunch of stuff thrown out of the shark like that.
Including a license plate, and guess what that license plate was?
What?
It looks exactly like in the movie. It says 007. It was filmed in 72 in Louisiana, where Live and Let Die was filmed. And later on, actually in the movie Spy Who Loved Me, Albert Broccoli got the thanks back to Steven Spielberg, and he called the character Jaws. That was the guy with the metal teeth.
Sweet. Coming up next, speaking of Jaws, Richard Kiel and this guy have some history. And if you follow me right here, one of the greatest James Bond stunts ever performed, created by a guy who we have right here in Northern California, probably watching Good Day as we speak. The Swiss Alps parachute stunt.
Wow.
I'm still geeking out about it. All these years later. Why haven't we been friends before now? But here's to the rest of my life, now that I know this guy. I'm doing some hanging out. Back to you guys.
All right, Mark, thanks.
His collection is extraordinary. Good day, Sacramento. It's Marcus Allen hanging out with in El Dorado Hills. A man who's literally been all over the world, going to every single James Bond location ever. We'll get to know him. Mission. Yeah, my German's not so good. Despite that, that does not say For Your Eyes Only, but that's that movie. So why did they change the names in other languages? We're going to find out from the Uber Bond collector as Good Day continues.
Well, he is a 007 enthusiast who takes Superfan to a whole new level. And our very own secret agent Marcus Allen is live in El Dorado Hills with more on his amazing collection.
We've been here all morning long. Every 30 seconds, another anecdote that would blow you away. You've only gotten a small sample. We got to come back here. Ladies, can we come back here, please?
Yes, let's do it.
Thank you. We will. Ooh, let's talk about this guy, a Placer County resident that's responsible for one of the greatest aerial stunts of all time. Gary Davis, a good friend of mine, a great stuntman, would concur that what he did is legendary.
Right, this is Rick Sylvester, a good friend of ours, and he's up in Tahoe, and he was actually the guy who did this the parachute jump, the base jump from Mount Asgard for the movie The Spy Who Loved Me.
Sweet, and the ski was actually shot on the Alps, however, he did this where?
In Canada, on Mount Asgard, all the way way up on the North Cup almost.
Sweet. We've had a lot of James Bonds on Good Day Sacramento and a lot of the ancillary players. We've had some Bond women. Richard Kiel was on the Good Day set not that long ago, and then not too long ago he passed away. You got to know him.
Right, I met Richard Kiel last year and was actually invited to his home and had dinner with him. You know, great guy. You know, even for his size, a very calm, nice man.
Great picture.
Sad that he passed away.
And we had talked that Steven Spielberg was supposed to direct a Bond movie and didn't, but his character in the movies was
Jaws.
because of Steven Spielberg. A little throwback. He got to go on a game show and actually a talk show and hang out with Daniel Craig, one of my favorite James Bonds. And I thought about it. We've had just about every James Bond along the way on our show. Talk about your experience with Daniel Craig.
Yes, I had the chance in England. I was 3 years ago at the premiere of Skyfall in England and had the chance in the BBC studios to be on the Graham Norton show in the red chair. And actually, I was the only one who survived the game.
I thought Sean Connery was the only Bond we haven't had on Good Day, and then I remembered, no, we did, but I only got him to say 2 words. Take a listen.
Hey, Sacramento. Good day. Good day, Sacramento.
Good day. Well, if we only got 2 words out of him, good day's not a bad way to start. You guys almost killed me one time because of James Bond, and I'll have you take a look at that right now.
30 seconds.
That doesn't give me very much time.
James Bond's Daniel Craig. The exclusive Good Day in
Okay, so we're back. I want you to see something. That's the shell of the Lotus. That's when it turns into a submarine.
Okay.
That shell just sold. Now, he owns the actual driving Lotus.
Whoa!
The shell sold
No
to...
way.
Actually, it was sold to Tesla. A guy found in a storage unit the original shell from the movie, and he bought the storage unit for $100. And the car went to auction at Sotheby's, and it was sold for $900,000 to the owner of Tesla.
Sweet. You guys, the next movie comes out in November, so we're going to come back here and hang out with him. Is that okay?
That's great. Yes, please.
Awesome. Until then, I'm just going to hang out here until then. Do you mind? Is that cool?
From now to November.
Shaken, not stirred. I'm honestly...
That's quite a super fan. Big time. Wow. Very cool.
I thought you'd never ask. If I had a farm, I would plant alligators. An alligator farm.
Name the movie!
Live and let die.
Live and Let Die at an alligator farm!
Mark, you can't plant alligators.
I know you can't plant alligators! Work with me, people! Work with me!
Well, she'll be on the receiving end of my hookah.
Oh, he is nerding out. Those two are going to be trading James Bond lines all day.
I don't think Mark is going to leave until November.
No,
That poor man.
I bet he loves it though. It's always fun when someone appreciates your passion.
Exactly.